and I met through work, actually, through the St. Paul Police Department. And Tony actually was my field training officer, and I'm sure our coworkers are getting a kick out of this right now.
My first impressions of Ashley, I was actually told by a coworker. So he told me, "Tony, I've met Ashley, your recruit, and I want to let you know that you're in trouble." I thought he was just joking around. The first day was about a week after that I saw her, and she was absolutely stunning. She's very beautiful. Once we started talking, I could tell immediately that we had some similar and very same interests.
My first impression of Tony was that he was very laid back, easygoing, easy to love, to be honest. I felt he was just really lovable. Tony and I had a first date at Ray J's in Woodbury. I do remember that it was around Valentine's Day.
I don't know if you'd really call it a date. I asked her if she wanted to go to the bar, have a beer together, and just talk.
And at some point, while we were sitting down in the booth, Tony slid over those Valentine's candies that say different things on them, like hug me, kiss me. I was kind of taken back by it. I thought it was really cute.
And at the end of the night, I made a decision. It was that awkward goodbye. And I told myself, Tony, just do it and see what happens. You might get slapped, you might get kissed back. So I went to kiss her and she kissed me back, and I didn't get a black eye for it.
I think some of Tony's best qualities is that he is patient. He's very extremely hardworking. I really like the fact that when he starts a project, he is very quick to finish it. And he is also very clean, which is very helpful. And of course, obviously, since we've had Dominic, one of his best qualities is being a father. He has stepped up to the role, has done an awesome job, and I love watching the two of them together.
Ashley's got a lot of great qualities about her. Excluding her beauty, she has the willingness to forgive. Lord only knows I'm not perfect and make mistakes. She's a very forgiving individual.
I think maybe something that I admire most about Tony is probably the fact that I know at the drop of the hat that he would absolutely do anything for myself or my family, even my extended family. He's just always been there for me, and I know I can count on him for just about everything.
What I admire most about Ashley would be the way she is to our son. She is such a great mother to him. A special story, more or less, is probably kind of a funny one, and that would have to be the time that we told Ashley's parents that she was pregnant. She has warned me about her father in the past, saying that don't be offended, he usually wears less clothing around the house, which I did not see thus far in our relationship. The day we decided to do it, we discussed it, that we were going to go to her parents' house and tell her parents that she was pregnant. When we got there, her father, of course, was just in his tighty whities.
Sorry, Dad.
I thought they had outlawed those, but apparently not. They still make them. Ashley told me that she would be the one that was going to tell her parents, and more or less I would just be there for support.
Yep.
It's not exactly how it went. We got her parents in the living room. Ashley said, "Mom, Dad, I have something important I want to tell you."
And I'm sure at this point they thought maybe we were getting engaged or whatever the case may be.
Instead, she looks at me and goes, "Tony's going to ask you, or tell you rather."
Yep.
Me, sitting there dumbfounded, not knowing what to say anymore, because I didn't think I'd be thrown under the bus like so, but I ended up telling them that she was pregnant. Her mom jumped up in joy, excited. Her dad, not so much. Her dad both called us idiots and walked away.
Yeah.
I laughed a little bit. He didn't laugh.
But we got through it. And
we got through it. He had several questions for
Yeah.
me after that, and he finally gave me his blessing to marry his daughter.
Yeah.
So, and
And
now
now Dominic and him are best friends, and we can't get mom and dad to leave the house. So it worked out for everybody, and I think we both agree that Dominic's probably the best thing that ever happened to us.
Absolutely.
I want to marry Tony because he's my baby daddy. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I know my coworkers again, I'm sure, are laughing hysterically. But no, Tony, honestly, I know it sounds maybe like a simple answer, but he truly is my best friend. I really don't see continuing on without him.
I knew Ashley was the one when I started noticing all her great qualities. And they kind of meshed with mine. And routinely, I was starting to see that we started seeing eye to eye on a lot of things in life. Marriage, talked about children, our future. And seeing that, again, that she could put up with me, I would say that's when I knew she was the one.
I think I knew Tony was the one when we took our trip to Nashville. Obviously, for people that know me, I'm a huge country fan. So we are in Nashville, the home of country music, and we were at the Bluebird Cafe listening to music, and the songwriter of Black Dress by Chris Young was there singing this song. And I happened to glance over at Tony during this song, and I just kind of had this feeling that Tony and I were probably going to spend the rest of our lives together.
Ashley makes me feel like a rock star. Over the years that we've known each other, I feel like we've almost known each other for 10 or 15. In actuality, it's only been 2, almost 3 years. She makes me feel like a great person, and even occasionally still gives me the butterflies. I proposed to Ashley at the Xcel Energy Center. It was her birthday, and her birthday I should never forget because it's April Fool's. And I was trying to play it off as an April Fool joke.
Well, I knew he kind of had some things up his sleeve, and I didn't know exactly what was going on that day. But of course, when you get walked into the Xcel Energy Center where the Minnesota Wild play, there's kind of some red flags that happen.
I had a good friend of mine, along with an employee at the Xcel Center, play it off that we had won a free tour of the locker room. In the back of my head, though, and with my good friend, I knew that she was probably going to figure something wasn't right and pick up on something. We still went with it. My friend already had her skates along with my skates in the locker room, which was the only thing in the locker room. She kept yelling at me, what's going on, what's going on? So I told her that, all right, we got some free ice time. It's your birthday. I wanted to bring you out, and so you can skate around on the Xcel Energy ice.
It's kind of funny because me being the hockey player that I am, I was skating circles and Tony was trying to catch up to me, but I was so excited that here I am by myself with Tony on this sheet of ice.
I kept trying to keep up with her. When I finally did, I think I just yanked onto her so I would skate with her.
He eventually caught up to me and said, will you stop skating and let me just talk to you for a minute?
Once we got to the center of the arena, I dropped down to a knee and had a ring and asked her if she would marry me.
I probably knew it was coming, but at the same time, I was pretty excited where it was happening. Well, Tony, here we are. It's September 26th. We've finally made it after all that stress and planning. I cannot wait to spend the rest of my life with you. I'm looking forward to continuing to build our family. I'm sure it's going to be a wild ride, but I can't see myself doing it with anybody else. I love you, sweetie.
Ashley, I just want you to know that I'm very excited to spend the rest of our life together and I'm so happy that I found you. You're an amazing woman. You're an amazing mother to our child, and I love you very much.
So I know that a marriage is built on honesty, so I've got one last message for you, Tony. I know you blame this on our coworkers, which is totally fine with me, but I've got to come clean. That dent in the back of your Malibu is from me backing into the trash can leaving the house one day. I'm really sorry. Love me.